How's it going, everybody? Tesla here, and welcome back to more Tainted Grail. So we don't have much left, so we have to go all the way here. So I read those documents from that ghost in that mansion. Apparently they've been like doing experiments on like bringing Arthur back, as it's been stated. What's interesting is that ghost cannot refuse the Knights of the Round Table hold. Like it's like he's compelled to. So Caradoc actually, what he thought of doing is basically hiding him in the Wyrdness, and ever since then, Knights of the this clipped right through there. Nice. So the Knights of the Round Table hold haven't been able to find him. And basically with his research, and this is kind of what Caradoc is hoping was what he planned too. It's like they'll have someone like take all of the essence, all of the parts of Arthur's soul, and then therefore they won't get like basically I guess like you could say it's like a corrupted version, because they don't like that there's the Foredweller in Arthur, which they believe is flawed. So, and I guess by our character, taking all parts of Arthur's soul, it solves that issue, which is also why it's like that. They convinced the Red Priests, who were trying to like cure the Red Death. It's like, hey, it's like, if you do these experiments, it'll help you with the Red Death and everything. And by doing so, they also they were able to find someone who could take Arthur's soul, who was compatible. So I'm guessing like maybe they've done this before, but as they tried to, maybe it's failed, and so you have to like have like a strong will or something. Okay, so let us make a save here, because I am pretty sure we're gonna have to make a choice on whether we fight Caradoc or not. Open that. Okay, I guess I just need to do that one because I went here before. All right, let us see how strong Caradoc is. And as you can see, I went back to my old armor. I don't know, I just like this armor more just because I also don't take any stamina. It really reduces the stamina consumption.
So,
okay.
You finally made it. Took you long enough. I hope you're ready, because this is it. The beginning of the end.
Alright, so what is this place?
This is the Charred Conclave, a graveyard for druids, burned alive
Figures
as
by the name.
scapegoats for the Red Death. It's a reminder of what happens when people fear what they don't understand.
Okay, I'd like to know more about the Charred Conclave. So, the druids were scapegoats. What did they do?
They spoke out. They should have stayed silent, kept to their herbs and potions, but they didn't. They believed their ancient knowledge, ugly and painful truths from times long past, could save Avalon from the plague. And maybe they were right. But people don't want the truth when it's covered in blood.
No, they rather have a sweet lie. Alright, so ugly and painful truths, what do you mean?
Cruel rituals, sacrifices, hard choices in search of real results. They called it wisdom, knowledge gleaned from the Wyrdness itself. But to the people, everything they did was unnatural, costly, and frightening. The druids believed their results would justify the costs. They thought Avalon would see them as saviors. But the people didn't understand, and fear turned to fire.
So the druids were punished for trying to help?
Well, the Red Church and their politicians made sure of that.
Of course.
The druids became a convenient enemy, a way to shift the blame and tighten their grip on power. It's always so simple, so banal.
And the Red Priest could continue doing their experiments on all their other fucked up shit. Okay, so I saw the graveyard above. Where are we right now?
Well, death doesn't always mean an ending. It was a sacrifice so costly, so cruel, so pointless, that it tore a rift in the fabric of this world. An ultimate wound. And so you're the closest you'll ever come to seeing the true shape of this world.
All right, so why are you waiting here for me?
To greet you. I was once where you are now. A knight with questions, searching for answers. That search led me to this place, and here I found my answers.
Okay, and what can I expect?
Well, first, you're going to meet my former employer. We don't see eye to eye anymore, but we both realize that our collaboration yields results, as shown by you being here. He'll try to sugarcoat the hard truths I've been telling you from the beginning, spin them differently. Never mind. Why waste time here talking about it when you're just a step from the end?
All right, I'll go.
Just remember, this is the point of no return. Once you step through, there's no going back. But if you've come this far, I suppose you already knew that. Go on.
All right, so I think we'll overwrite the save just so we don't have to go through all that yapping. Let's see, it was... There we go. All right, let's see what his employer has to say, whoever they are. I'm still on the fence whether or not... I wonder... Who is that?
At last we meet. I've heard much about you. Your choices, your determination. Caradoc isn't easily impressed, but he was impressed with you. Few dare to seek the truth buried in Avalon's shadows. Fewer still make it this far. I was the first. Caradoc followed when my brethren burned and the tear opened, and now, here you are. A truly rare and joyful occasion.
Is this the NPC that we saw, like, at the... in the cutscene at the end of, the prologue? Kinda looks like it's him. Alright, who are you exactly?
Oh, forgive my lack of manners. I am Orin, the last apprentice of Merlin, and the last archdruid of Avalon. I've carried the weight of this land's secrets longer than I care to admit. But names mean little. What matters is the task before us.
Alright, and what is this place?
What lingers here? It's older than Avalon. Older than anything we know. What you see is the beginning of Wyrdness itself. Its purest form. Raw potential. Unshaped by anything but its lack of boundaries and limits. Beautiful, isn't it?
I mean, I guess so. I mean, we'll have to see what awaits us, but, okay, what do you want from me?
Oh, precisely the opposite of what Caradoc wants. I want you to help me resurrect King Arthur. Properly this time.
Oh wait, I just realized, I think this Orin is the same Orin that was in that mansion. Pretty sure it's him. So he wants to kill him properly, and you want to resurrect him properly.
Ridiculous, I know. But yes, that's what it boils down to. At some point, we stopped seeing eye to eye and chose different paths. Ultimately, though, both our paths led to you.
Me? How?
Yes, please let me explain. By the end of his life, Arthur became obsessed with his legacy. He left mementos, artifacts that embodied the virtues he wanted Avalon to preserve. Excalibur, a symbol of loyalty and sacrifice. The crown of Pendragon, a beacon of courage and resilience. The shield of Palamedes, wisdom and independence. But Merlin and the others didn't believe that would be enough. The memory of war and the fragility of peace was still too fresh. So they acted. When the king died, His soul wasn't allowed to move on. It was shattered, bound to those artifacts. A clever solution, but ultimately flawed.
Yeah, I'm guessing because each time they try to resurrect the king, you know, if his soul is in those artifacts, you know, it's not complete, and therefore he's a very weaker form of himself. So it's like, yeah, they have his soul in the artifacts, but he's not whole. All right, why would they divide the king's soul?
They feared losing what Arthur represented more than losing Arthur himself. They thought the king's essence would endure if bound to his relics.
Well, I kind of explained why it's flawed, but okay, let's see what he has to say.
You can't pick and choose with a soul, but that's exactly what Merlin did. He focused on 3 parts of Arthur: his strength, wisdom, and courage. He left out 2 pieces. One, tainted by the Four Dwellers' magic, was deemed too dangerous. The other was his humanity, the most fragile part.
So they robbed him of
Merlin
his
thought
humanity.
compassion and doubt were weaknesses, unfit for a king. Without them, Arthur became hollow. A king with power, but no heart. That way, Avalon's greatest failure was born.
I mean, in a way, Merlin is playing God because he's deciding it's like, oh, what Arthur's soul needs. It's like you know, he doesn't need compassion. I forget what the other one was, or the Four Dweller, but he's picking and choosing what his king can have in his soul. It's literally playing as God. Okay, didn't anyone try to resurrect Arthur as a whole then?
I tried. And I found his humanity. It's here, bound, kept safe. But the Four Dwellers' aspects was left to drift, untethered between worlds. Finding it needed more than magic. It needed someone like you.
So we have the Four Dweller part then?
The horrors you endured on that island gave you something no one else has. You can move through the weirdness, touch it, and return whole. That's why you found the king's soul, bound it to yourself, and came back.
All right, so I'm guessing, in a way we are part of Arthur then. So you're saying all that, everything I went through was all part of your plan, or so I'm just another experiment to you, like the one on that island?
No, the asylum treated you as a subject. I see you as a savior. Your suffering gave us a chance. And for that, I am both grateful and deeply sorry.
And I wish the audio
see
was
you still
louder.
doubting me.
It's very quiet. Okay, so what's your end game?
I want to bring back our king, whole and complete. I want him to lead again and safeguard Avalon's future.
And why do you want this so much? I mean, shouldn't you just let him rest? I mean, he's done so much for, you know, Avalon. I get, you know, he was really not the ideal king, but let him rest.
Because I've seen what happens without him. Wyrdness preys on the weak, and the people are too divided to stand against it alone. Arthur is their only hope. Ever they're left without him, without guidance, chaos takes hold. Division festers. You've seen it during your journeys. If things continue this way, Avalon will tear itself apart long before Wyrdness finishes the job.
I mean, personally, I think, you know, putting all your faith in one man is not a good outcome, because then it's like, once they pass away, all shit just comes falling down, and it's like, who's to say he can be here forever? Okay, so what if you're wrong? What if unity isn't enough?
Then Avalon falls, and with it, everything we fought to protect. But I don't believe I'm wrong. Help me bring the king back, whole and complete. That's all I ask of you. Now you need to go further. I made my case. Please keep in mind what I told you. This is the only way for Avalon to survive.
Well, I guess we still gotta make our choice. I mean, I'm very curious in both outcomes. So we gotta go up there, it looks like. Okay, let's see. Alright. Let's see here. So we go through this portal. Guessing we're gonna go up there then. You know, strangely enough, I've seen that bird sometimes in the Wyrdness. Never really fought it. Okay, I guess we need to make our choice here.
I was there when it all began, when Arthur first set foot on Avalon. I was a knight in his army. We believed in him, in his dream, in his kingdom. And for a while, it was glorious.
But then war changed him.
Every battle felt like a step closer to peace. Every sacrifice justified by the dream we shared. But then came the cost. The war crimes, the impossible decisions, the massacres, slaughters, and irrational cruelty. We turned from knights into butchers, all because his dream demanded it of us. At first I told myself it was necessary, that it was the price of building something great. But the longer it went on, the harder it was to believe. That's when I realized Arthur wasn't a god, a savior, or a king. He was just another man, no different from the rest of us, and no man should have the power to demand such sacrifices.
And you want to kill him once and for all. I've heard that before.
But do you understand why I want it so much?
Alright, let's see. I guess because I guess too, if Arthur dies, maybe like his immortality curse will also cease. Because they made you immortal in the process?
I'd like to believe that after 600 years I've moved past pettiness. You need to understand that people thought, and still think, that he was more than human. But he wasn't. He made mistakes, just like any man. And the cost of those mistakes was always paid for by others. I've seen what happens when people cling to kings and myths. They wait, they follow. They waste their lives on promises that never meant anything. But that's not my problem. I'm not here to fix Avalon, or to free anyone. What comes after doesn't matter. Let it all burn. Let it rot. Let it rebuild. I won't be here to see it.
Oh, let's see here. Maybe we can go through all these options. Alright, even if you destroy Arthur, the Round Table can just crown someone new. Replace him.
Arthur's the only myth that still holds weight. And when he's gone, the rest will rot with him. A puppet king, another empty throne, none of it will last. Maybe they'll keep pretending for a while. Maybe they won't.
Alright, and it's like, and what if your way leads directly to people's fallen demise?
Then let it. If this world can't stand without a dead king propping it up, maybe it deserves to fall.
True, I mean, if it's like, if they can't last on their own without Arthur, it just showed that it wasn't meant to last. Alright, and you think the people can stand on their own against the Wyrdness, the monsters?
Let them stand, let them fall. It's not my concern. If the Wyrdness takes them, so be it. At least it won't be another king's failure. Another lie propping up a dying world. It'll just be what it is. Call it chaos, call it freedom, I don't care. Let them rise.
Yeah, you
I just
said
want
that
to
already.
watch it all come down. To see the last lie collapse. What comes after? I've lived longer than any man should. Seen more than anyone should ever bear. And I've waited centuries for this moment, this chance, to end it all, to end him.
All right, let's see. Yeah, I mean, Oren's like belief that it will be different. It's like it's all like hanging on Morin, our character, on my character, but who's to say it's kind of like it's putting a little too much faith in one basket. Um, let's go with this one.
And we'll never know if that's true, because we've never tried. And who ever said that we were meant to survive the weirdness at all? We were fools to tamper with forces we didn't understand, resurrecting Arthur, infusing him with powers of the weirdness. We didn't just bend the natural laws, we shattered them. Such violations of nature's order cannot go unanswered. The bill comes due, sooner or later.
Yeah, you're kind of right about that.
This cannot be allowed to continue. Listen, it's taken longer than I ever imagined. But now, here we are. You've done what no one else could. What even I couldn't do. You've brought Arthur's soul back together. Almost complete, but not quite. And because of you, I can finally finish what I started centuries ago. So, thank you for bringing us to this moment. You're close now. Just one more step. The last fragment of Arthur's soul is waiting for you. Complete what you came here for, and then we'll meet again. Go. Find the last piece, and let's end this.
Alright, so I guess we grab his soul, and then we have the choice whether we'll fight Caradoc or not. Like I said, we're gonna go with both options, and I'm gonna see like which one I prefer. I'm kind of leaning like, siding with Caradoc. I mean they've like brought Arthur back multiple times, and they've been tampering with the weirdness, and it's like he says, like, it was like unnatural. It was, like, to find the natural order of things. It's like, yeah, no wonder the weirdness has gone out of control. Oh, it's him. But let's say this, because I really don't want to go through all that yapping again. Let's see, it was 164.
You've come. The one who carries what's left of me. Please, don't come any closer. Just let me finally die.
I didn't expect that. Why do you want to die?
Because I've had enough. Enough of being torn apart and stitched back together. Enough of being used, shaped, and forced to be something I'm not. Do you know what it is like to be a king of nothing? To see the people you swore to protect suffer because of your choices? Or worse, in your name. I've seen towns burnt to the ground, families destroyed, all because someone thought it would serve the greater good. And they called it loyalty. They called it justice. I've been dragged through every dream, every lie they've built around me. And I'm tired. Tired of the weight, of the expectations, of all of it. And most of all, I'm tired of failing.
Well, it seems like as we're getting to the source of Arthur's soul, it's like, first of all, I didn't expect that the guy from Act 1 was actually Arthur. It's like, so this is what he actually looks like. Damn. So, but it's like, yeah, he's just tired of it all. He just wants to die peacefully. What about Oren? He's trying to bring you back. He's trying to bring you back whole this time.
Oren wants a king, not me. He doesn't see the broken man behind the myth. He sees a symbol, a weapon to wield against the Wyrdness. But symbols aren't people. They're empty. And the more they're used, the more they hollow out the one who carries them. That's all I've ever been to Orin and the Druids. Do you know what it's like to be a weapon? To be forged, sharpened,
They stop seeing you as a person. It's kind of sad. And Caradoc, he wants to destroy you forever.
He thinks ending me will free Avalon. But what then? Without an idea, a light to guide them, they'll stumble, lose their way, and turn on each other.
It'll be a complete
People
bloodbath.
always seek something to follow, something to believe in. Take that away, and they'll tear each other apart trying to find it. Or worse, build something even crueler in its place.
Alright, and what is it in death that you want?
I want release. I want to stop being a tool in their endless struggle.
So Nui wants to be
Kill me.
free.
Destroy the last piece of me and use the energy however you wish. Take it yourself and become the new king. Give it to someone else. I don't care. Just don't let me come back again. Let me die. Not as Arthur. Not as the king. Just as a simple, normal human being.
Let's see. So don't you care what happens next with your kingdom?
I don't care. Do you know how freeing that is? To finally not care what happens next? Whether Orin gets his king or Caradoc gets his ruin? To not feel the burden of all my failures? To not see my memory tarnished? My plans, goals, and ambitions dragged through the mud? To not see the suffering my name causes? No more deaths in my shadow. No more kingdoms built on my bones.
Well, I mean, he wants to just find release, so he doesn't really care if Arthur's soul can be complete or not.
Isn't that what you've been doing all along? Carrying what's left of him? You've already taken up the humanity
True.
I was meant to represent. Doesn't that prove Arthur doesn't need me anymore?
Been through a lot, but there has to be another way that doesn't involve your ultimate death.
Another way? There's always another way. But please, not for me. Do what you think is right. And that's the only thing I've ever wanted. You hold the choice. I don't care who you side with. Orin, Caradoc, or no one at all. You have all of my soul. I don't even want to know. Just let me go. Let me...
Okay, so I guess we get to make the big choice here. Whether we bring the human side back to Arthur's soul. Because these are all the bodies Arthur has killed to fill his kingdom. So we can kill him, kill his soul, bring his soul back, or do nothing with it. Maybe take it for ourselves.
Help me bring the king back. Hold him. Now you need... I made my case. This is the only...
Go on. He's waiting for you.
Okay, so this is the deciding factor. I'm guessing... Is that the Holy... No, that wouldn't be the Holy Grail. That's his soul.
You carried a dying king across the bones of a dying world. Now you stand before what started it all. An idea. I am the reason there must be an ending. I do not guide. I do not judge. I exist so that something can be chosen. I do not offer meaning. I require that one be made. You have brought all things to their conclusion. Now, decide what must remain. Choose.
Alright. So we have multiple, I guess, choices we can make. So we can go with orange, Caradox, or we can take it for ourselves. Let's save that one for last. So let's go with Caradox path.
You will break the frame.
Okay, and what if I take the King's Soul for myself?
You will be seen. You will vanish into the story.
And what if I give the King's Soul to someone else?
You will shape the world to become its witness.
Okay, so we're gonna go with the multiple different options. So first we're gonna go with Caradoc.
Then the idea shall fall, its weight discarded, its rule denied, but the soul is not yet yours to give.
Thank you. But promise me, you will win this fight, my friend.
Okay, so I guess...
After everything you've seen, you side with Caradoc. Then all the suffering, all the pain, meant nothing. I am complete. Avalon will be reborn. Perfect this time.
It's kind of cold, so we can fight him. So I guess you can't use... Okay, damn, that was... Oh man, so he died too? Rip.
You brought down the cycle with steady hands and no promise of glory. You did not claim the throne. You buried it.
So this looks like
There
this
is
the bad
no
ending.
king now. Only the truth you made and the path others may follow. You had no answers, only scars and the will to keep walking. And sometimes that was enough to keep others going too. With One Eye and Captain Brandon working side by side, the South found a peace it hadn't known in years. The roads stayed open, the fields were guarded, and the people finally felt safe. No longer bound to Camelot or the Knights of the Round Table, it became a land ruled by its own people on its own terms. Because of you, the men here remained and the Kuanact endured, not just as a place, but as a legacy of quiet defiance and hope. Lord Yvain was remembered as a hero who gathered the wise and set out in search of the Grail, while Kuanact stood as a peaceful haven amid the Wyrdness.
Probably didn't return though.
You awakened the giants, and with them at their side, the Dal Rita conquered Camelot. As the capital fell, the customs of the tribes spread across Avalon. Not everyone welcomed them, but the change had already taken root. Firgas was named the new Galahad the Loyal. With One Eye and Brendan backed by the Dal Rita the Forlorn Swords, he saw that the South's alliance was strong enough to stand on its own.
Well, good on
He
him.
urged Camelot to leave the South in peace, and turned his attention to securing the rest of Avalon. The captain led the south to independence, breaking all ties with Camelot. Under his rule, the horns of the south flourished. Merchants, pilgrims, and adventurers returned to the roads, and prosperity once again reached the far corners of the land. One Eye ruled the south, with the horns of the south at his side. Over time, the Dal Rita of the Fallen Swords rallied to his banner, forging a unified force. With the south secured, he stood in a strong position to launch future conquests across Avalon. Nianta left Kuanacht with Yvain, and her fate remained unknown. Yet among the people she once served, tales of her devotion and courage endured, and her name was remembered with respect. Maggot left Kuanacht alongside Yvain, surprising many who had long considered him harmless and weak. His fate remained unknown, but in time, the people spoke proudly of the last druid, claiming him as one of their own.
I keep on forgetting he was a
Urthra
druid.
left Kuanacht alongside Yvain, despite concerns about his age. His fate remained unknown, but the people admired him for finding purpose at the end of his life, and spoke of him with lasting respect. Fabius and Neil disappeared from the Red Church's reach, but their life together soon unraveled. With no child and no cause to unite them, they parted ways, and Fabius faded into obscurity. Ailey accepted the Red Church's support to keep the hospital running. In time, they pushed her away from the patients, and she was left little more than a maker of potions under their command. The Volker joined the rest of the Dal Rita without a matron and without Mathar's blessing. Even so, their warriors kept the ferocity they had once been famed for, tempered now by a clarity that left the other tribes uneasy. They were respected, but only barely. For what greater dishonor is there than turning one's back on the goddess who had made them what they were? Ingrid turned away from the eternal sleep, choosing life over dreams. In time, she began to rebuild the Thoid among the living, planting the first seeds of a new future for her scattered people. Under Stronar's leadership, the Ulfra found new strength. He rebuilt the tribe and reunited them with the rest of the Dal Rita, restoring their place among the tribes of the Forlorn Swords. With the Stagfather slain and the old bonds broken, Balaam led the Svine towards a new path. He opened the tribe to the other clans of the Dal Rita
Hopefully they found a
and
better
guided
god
them
at
to
this
settle
point.
in the Mather mines. You accepted the mycelium's offer and let the spores consume Sagramor's body. Now the kingdom lies under fungal control, its people connected, obedient, and slowly fading into the roots that feed the spores. After returning to Camelot, Hillian lived quietly for a time. When he vanished, few asked questions. Unsettling rumors
Guessing he
had
was
always
murdered.
followed him, and most preferred not to remember.
Alright, before I give my review of the game, yes. That we do. Because we're gonna do the other option, so it's kind of cool. So I guess, like, if you do, like, other side quests, it'll also be mentioned. Okay, let's see. Let's go back to here. So now we'll do orange, and then, well, I think, and then we'll do like the if no one chooses it, if I choose anyone. Okay, just go through that. Blah, blah, blah. Alright, I want to follow Orin.
Then the idea shall endure.
I begged you not to do this. I begged you.
No, I won't let this happen. Not again.
Yeah, something tells me it's not going to go too well for him. Alright. Okay.
Through your sacrifice, the king returned, entire,
I'll just see if there's
unbroken,
anything
and
different.
ready to reclaim his throne. You held faith that Avalon's fate still turned with him, that one last rising could bring balance to the broken land. Now he rules again, and the world bends to the weight of your choice, for salvation or for ruin. You gave everything to restore the king, and your journey ended with his return. Closing your eyes upon the sight of Arthur's triumph, you felt no regret, only the certainty that your final choice had been the right one. With One Eye and Captain Brandon, Feargas was named the Nianta left, Fabius and Lee. The
Just gotta
Volker
skip through all
joined.
this again.
You
Too bad we
accept
can't like skip through
after
all of it.
returning.
Alright, yes. Let's do that. Come on. Okay, seriously? It's kind of stupid, it just fades out. It's just gotta give it a second. It's like, but it's like, it's like I don't want to. Okay. So I think we're gonna do the one where we just don't choose anyone. And then we'll save the last one where we just take the soul for ourselves. But yeah, who's to say that if Arthur's reign would have been in one of peace, or he would have continued his cruelty, or not. Alright, I want to give the soul to somebody else. Oh, so you can... Okay, so this is interesting. So you can decide to, if you wanted to... That's interesting. So we could give it to Brandon, Grifhaner. I honestly, of the three, Grifhaner, One Eye, and Brendan, I think were my favorite. But let's just go for this one. I mean, honestly, they'd probably be, it would probably be similar, like, as if we gave it to Arthur. Maybe it'd be better, you know, maybe like, you know, it's like, oh, you know, we give it to Brendan, you know, maybe then like the Horns of the South would prosper, they become a kingdom or whatnot. Same thing with One Eye or Grifhaner. Probably with One Eye it'd be more brutal. But okay, I want to take the soul for myself.
Then the idea shall be claimed. But first, you have to bring silence to what refuse.
If this is what you want, then take it, my friend.
Alright, so we gotta execute him. Damn. So this one's the more evil ending, I think.
No, I won't let this happen. Not again.
So is it just the same thing? Alright. Let's complete the ritual.
You think any other human could wield this power? I endured 600 years of pain, of suffering, of loneliness. I made the sacrifices, me!
So now we have to fight him.
You think you can take it from me? The hubris. No. I reject your claim. I will reforge Avalon. Perfect this time.
Okay, so now we fight... Okay, yeah, so we fight him now.
You took Arthur's power for yourself. Whatever drove you, need, ambition, or will alone, the strength of
Yeah,
a
this was
king
the better
was
ending.
now yours to command. Maybe you weren't ready. Maybe nobody ever is. But you decided to try. It's a heavy thing, trying to do right where others have failed. Still, you stepped forward, carrying the soul and every choice that brought you here. You ruled not as Arthur reborn, but as yourself, flawed, resolute, untested. Avalon changed beneath your hand, and history will decide what that truly meant. With One Eye and Captain Brandon working, Feargas was Nianta left, Fabius and Leah. The Volker joined. You accepted the Mycene after returning.
Alright, so now we will go through the credits this time. Of course, I'm going to turn it down so I can just give my thoughts on the game overall. So overall, this was a very fun game. I think compared to something like Elder Scrolls, which I think a lot of people would notice, like, hey, like the mechanics and everything seem a little similar. Of course, it's its own different game too. Progression-wise, just to compare it between, like, you know, Skyrim Oblivion to this, felt very challenging. There were times like, oh shit, I'm gonna die here. I don't have enough, you know, healing potions or whatever. Like, they're just some like regular bandit leaders I couldn't kill just because they were too tough. And it's like, come back to this later. So I really like that. I like the idea of like having different like weapon slots. I think that's really cool. As you guys saw, like I was using like my fire and ice. I was using my poison, which was really, so I was using some poison, fire, and ice. It was really cool. I really liked when we got that poison greatsword because that was something I ended up using a lot. Of course, I was switching between them. I will say that, you know, I've complained about the jumping. That's still on the table. That is still my complaint. I do like the attribute system. It's kind of cool. It's like, hey, if you want to like level up your magic here, you know, this is what you level up. The practicality became insane because once I got that to 8, I was selling everything for the actual price. So that ended up becoming very useful. But yeah, like in terms of like the whole attribute system, always a suck for that. So they kind of did a mix between Dark Souls and Elden Ring's attribute system with the Skyrim perk system, which I really, you know, appreciate. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go into my combat stuff. I'm gonna go with my practicality. I did some stuff with the status effects because obviously I was doing that. The rings, like in different items, were really cool. Although I gotta admit, having, first of all, the bleed ring, just every hit just procs bleed, and the fact you can get that in chapter 1 is insane. I do feel like maybe that ring should be nerfed a little bit, just because it's extremely overpowered. In terms of like the characters, there were some that I really liked. Like what was his name? Like Feargas, he was cool. Brendan, he was alright. Of course, he's very like politically ambitious. And then there was the Lord Yvain, someone who couldn't really like. He was trying to like please both sides, but clearly he couldn't. But because of the choices we made, he ends up making a choice. So it's kind of cool. He's going after the Holy Grail. And of course, you know, there's King Arthur, there's Caradoc. I think it was really interesting to see, like, the differences between the two of them, where it's like, you know, Arthur was willing to dirty his hands just to preserve Avalon, but at a certain point, and let's close that out. So at a certain point, you know, it's like he just went too far. You know, he kept on, like, piling the bodies, and the sacrifices didn't go anywhere. So, you know, I really like that. And then just at the end here, where we get to make the choice: do we side with Caradoc? Do we side with Arthur? Maybe we give it to someone else, or in our case, I decided we're gonna take it for ourselves. I mean, that seems just proper for the Death Knight. Honestly, I like it. It really was, like, honestly, it was a really cool game overall. I had a lot of fun with it. I definitely could see myself doing some more runs. Only thing, I really wish there was, like, maybe in the future or something, we get to see, like, the battle at Camelot, because that would have been fun to see. But, you know, maybe we get to see that in the future. There were a bunch of side quests. It's unfortunate because I really wanted to get the spear that applied burning on each hit, and then it's like a heavy had like a chance to slow them, but I just couldn't get it. So that was unfortunate. The other thing too that I really just wasn't a really huge fan of, it's like, okay, for the frostbite, I had to wait all the way until pretty much near the end of the game. Like that I don't like. I can understand, like, hey, you know, you go into Chapter 3, maybe it's in a dungeon here or something, but really wasn't a fan that we had to like get the crown in order to get it. So not entirely crazy about that. And I really wish I could get like more of the burning. I hated how to use the console command, but it is what it is. This armor just ended up becoming goated. So I think it was like the best for like what I was wanting to do with the status effects. And I guess, like, with the magic, because I didn't really use it, I was really hoping, like, I mean, I know there's the summoning, and, you know, you can, like, summon some Skelly Bros, but it would be, or just some kind of undead. I don't know, I wish there was, like, some more, like, other type of, like, necromancy, because I would have liked to use that, but, you know, is what it is. Not really a whole lot left to say. I mean, I would give this game an 8 out of 10. I didn't really, like, participate, like, in the fishing, didn't really buy a house. Might do that off screen. I know there's going to be more updates, so it kind of depends, right? So if we get like a whole new quest line, then I'll save that. Otherwise, I'm going to just, you know, whatever new content is, you know, do that on my own time. The horse, well, I didn't really feel much with the horse. I felt like its movement was very wonky, so that's weird. And I think this castle here, it looks very similar to the Sagamore Castle, so, you know, even though I ended up wasting a lot of time looking into that, still, we went to the Abyssal Kingdom, and that was cool. The status effects, very potent. I liked that because coming from Dark Souls and Elden Ring, poison is never good, so that's nice that it was actually powerful. I really didn't spend too much time with the lore, and that's just because this is, like, I'm yapping now, but this is not, like, me, you know, divesting into the lore. Maybe I can do that sometime in the future. That'd be cool. Merlin was really interesting, because he's kind of the guy who put everything into motion. Just to give a final look at what my character looks like without his helmet. You know, we made him super edgy. Love it. So, I kind of like the look with this. Yeah, that looks cool. But, yeah, so I'm going to take a few days off, obviously, because I'm going to be playing, going to get back on Silksong. It's been tough, but I'm also going to be working on the thumbnail for the next game, which is Nier Automata. I'm very excited to be playing this game. This is a game I have been wanting to play for a long time. I remember one of my friends, Townsy, shout out to Big Towns. He did a stream on Nier Automata. I'm like, oh shit, this is cool. So ever since then, I've been wanting to play it. So that'll be the next game. So big excitement there. That's gonna be cool. So I'll be for the next month. So I'm guessing like maybe on Friday or Saturday we'll do it. But yeah, until then, guys, I shall catch you all the next one. It's awesome playing this game with. Awesome to really like just do a let's play of this game. If you all enjoyed it as much as I did, highly recommend it, especially if you really not really feeling the love for Oblivion. But yeah, until then, I shall catch you all the next one. Take care.